Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's doing great out there. Welcome to the Waller's Wallet. I guess we'll call it social distancing happy hour. The last time I did one of these happy hours, I had a lot of good feedback on it. I thought it went well too, and I thought I would do another one because it's been a while. But you know what? I love interacting with people. Interacting with the community, and that's why I really want to do these live streams. I do them to answer your questions, interact with you because I truly enjoy it. But if you want some way to help out the channel, hit that thumbs up button. It does help the channel out, brings people here. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't consider subscribing to it. I think I'm only like a couple hundred away from 10,000 subs. So getting closer, and I'm really excited for that. Last mention before we get into it, if you didn't already know, I recently started a podcast where I talk about travel. It's mostly travel related. It's been a lot of fun for me to do. I get to go into deeper discussions with people, even on solo podcasts, talking about travel and the destinations, things to do, tips to save money, just a lot of fun in doing that. So while the YouTube channel is really focused on the credit card and earning your points, the podcast I'm really focused on travel, the inspiration, the experience. But we also talk points and miles there too, because you gotta know how to use your points and miles to travel for less, right? So let me know what you guys have all been up to in your social isolation. I bought a chainsaw the other day. Yep, a chainsaw. And I went down, I got home with it, and I hacked down 10 trees. So cut down some big trees that kind of expanded the property out. And I'm really excited about having a chainsaw because it's clearing out our property, but they also really scare me because of what they can do. But the dropping of trees is a lot of fun. The cleanup is not nearly as fun as dropping them. So I dropped 10 in about one day, and I'm still cleaning them up. Hopefully I have them all cleaned up in the next. Mic is crackling a lot. Let me see if I can fix that real fast. Ben, let me know how that sounds, man. I mean, it's thanks for letting me know. Let me know how that mic sounds. Let me move that out of the way. Let me see if that helps. Better? Okay. But yeah, having the chainsaw there is better. Good. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, guys. Having the chainsaw is pretty awesome. I get to cut down some trees. It's been a lot of fun. The other thing I've been doing is my son is really into reading books right now. By reading books, I mean I am reading the same 3 books to him probably 30 to 40 times a day. So, the same 3 books that he wants to read, I'm doing. Thank you, Fernando. I really appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. Thank you so much. And, so he's learning, he's walking all around, running all around. So, interacting with him and seeing him grow has been pretty awesome. But also, before I get to the Q&A, I had a couple questions based on my video from yesterday about the value getting from grocery cards using either Chase cards or American Express for groceries. And people were wondering, how does the gold card, even the Blue Cash preferred, compare? Now, I didn't put that in the comparison because they weren't offering any extra promotional period there. But I think it's a really good question for people since people do have the gold card. Now, I did some quick number running on it, and I'll just do some quick stuff here. So since the gold card earns 4x on up to $25,000 per year, based on that 2,275, sorry about that. All right, let me know how that is now. Maybe I'm too close to the mic. Is that better? Based on that $2,275 spend, you would earn 9,100 points with that 4x. Oh, what the hell? All right. Sorry about that. Let me adjust something really fast. Is that better now? Is crackling? Oh, why is it crackling? Oh, sorry about that. Why is it crackling? Let me switch this. Sorry about this, everyone. I know that everyone is probably dropping out now because the mic is crackling. All right, let me know how that is now. I fixed those. I fixed it there. Oh, this is embarrassing. Crackling still. Let me see if I can switch mics real fast on the live stream. I blame YouTube, not it. I'm really sorry for this, everyone. I haven't had this issue with this mic before. So let me see if I can do something. All right, let me see. Okay, I'm back. Let's fix the gain. Okay, still crackling. Son of a gun. Let's try. All right, how's that sound? Can you guys hear me now? Uh-oh. Hello? Hello, hello? Hello? 1, 2. All right, oh, what did I do? All right, I don't know what I did there. Okay, you can hear me now? Is it better? All good? Still crackling. All right. Okay, I'm gonna see if this flips over this way. All right, either way, I'm just gonna keep talking and we'll roll through this. I'm really sorry, everyone. I don't know why it's doing that. Either way, so back sing a song. So when it comes to the gold card, earning 9,100 points is what you would get on that $2,275 spend with $2,275 spent over the course of that promotional period. Now, I value membership reward points at about 1.7 cents per point because they have a lot of great transfer partners there. So that means those 9,100 points would be worth about $155 for people. Not as much as the Hilton cards directly, though. So because that was like right about $160, $163. But do remember, American Express does have that 1 to 3 promotional period every once in a while to Hilton. So you'd basically be earning 12x if you were to transfer that. So it's still really good, gives you a lot of flexibility with your points, but you can still turn them into Hilton points. As it comes out for the Blue Cash Preferred, that $2,275 spent at 6% cash back would be just under $140 in rewards. So you still have a lot of rewards there. And because of that promotional period, it still outdoes Chase. And one comment I had from someone, I think it was actually, who was it? From Get Hungry, Stay Hungry. I think he left me a comment saying, why would you have the gold card then? And I think the reason why people would still want to have the gold card or maybe the Blue Cash Preferred is that these promotional periods from Chase and American Express are just temporary. They're going to go back to their normal earning rates where the Chase Sapphire Reserve is just triple points on travel and dining, and they don't offer anything on grocery spend. And that Hilton Aspire is great for 12x right now, but long term, the gold card is probably still going to be one of the best cards out there in terms of groceries. Now, what I'm hoping we see do, because American Express is offering these credits, which I'll do a video on that when they kind of release all of them. I'm hoping that they offer a credit for the gold card as well, because people aren't using it as much. They're not traveling. So that $100 airline credit is pretty useless for people. So I'm hoping and I'm thinking they will do something, but they don't need to do anything right now because 4X on groceries and dining has been one of the best cards out there. So I don't think they're in a rush to do something. They may do an offset credit statement for the annual fee. I don't see them increasing the earning rates though on this card. But overall, I think the duo of those, of the Chase Sapphire Reserve for the 8 weeks you can use the reserve, and then switching over to, either the gold card, Aspire card, or even the Blue Cash Preferred, is a really good strategy if you're someone who's looking to boost up your ultimate reward points as well as earn some sort of other currency. Because you don't get a lot of earning rates with Chase in the grocery category. I know the Freedom is 5x right now, but it's limited to $1,500 total. And that's the only time we really get a grocery category is whenever the Chase Freedom is offering that 5x category. Now, I'm hoping we see them revamp this either with the Sapphire Preferred or something to give a grocery bonus, especially as we've seen the City Premier offer that recently and introduce that. I think it's a small tweak they could do, but could offer a lot of value. That's what I'm really hoping for. But even with all these promotions going on, I still think that the Hilton cards are the juggernauts of these. There's so much going on here with the Hilton cards. The $250 dining credit on the Aspire card coming up in June is fantastic. I'm looking forward to burning through that in like the first month, especially because I feel like I'm lucky because my annual fee is still $95. Don't know how that happened, so I'm definitely getting positive value out of this card for this year. But I know I typically do advocate for people to earn flexible currency because it gives you more options. But really, I don't know if I could fault anyone by using Hilton here in this promotional period because the earning rates and the potential value here is just so strong. And I'm not sure I see Hilton devaluing their points anytime soon. I do think one may be on the way after this is all said and done, because of the fact there's a lot of points now in the ecosystem or in the environment, if you will. And so that's where I think they're going with those. As far as the value, the gold card is still really good. It's definitely a good card. Might be in the back burner right now due to the other earning rates. And same thing with the blue cash preferred. But even if you didn't want to get on the fun with the Hilton cards or the Chase cards, you're getting great earning rates out of both the gold and the blue cash preferred. Now, um, now I did want to touch on the special appreciation offers that have been kind of rolling out. They've been doing these rollouts of them. The business cards for American Express are starting to get some credits. They're rolling out more personal ones. And I'm gonna wait till they've kind of released more of them and just do one video as opposed to giving you guys like 6 videos on two updates. Be a waste of your time, and really, I don't know if it would be worth it. So, and there's always more information coming out about these. So I'm going to wait a couple days and I'm going to see what comes of it, and I will give you guys an update but it looks like American Express is doing some pretty good things when it comes to these appreciation credits. I do expect to see something along the lines of maybe something for the Blue Cash Preferred as well as the Everyday Preferred. So we'll just have to wait and see because I think there's a lot of good opportunities there. Although one thing I wished American Express would have done, and maybe they will do it, we'll have to see, is increase that $6,000 limit for grocery spend on the Blue Cash Preferred to maybe even $10,000 or $12,000 this year, just due to the fact there is an increase in grocery spending. If you're burning through, if those numbers, what I ran through, people are spending, $2,000 over the next couple months, that probably means they're going to hit that $6,000 limit relatively early in the year, and it's not going to benefit people long after that period. So it would be nice to see them update that temporarily this year. I think it'd be a good benefit for that card and could give a lot of extra value for people. Now, I know I see a lot of questions coming in. The last thing I want to mention before we get to the Q&A is YouTube recently gave me an option for channel membership. I've added it there. I haven't really talked about it. I feel a little weird talking about it, but I've thought about doing, member only streams as well as live ones to give more of a, I don't know, more of a smaller group session of talking about whatever you guys want to talk about, different questions you may have, particular booking questions, things like that. I'll still do live Q&As like this, but it's just an added Q&A every month. If you were looking at, it's in there. It says join. Like I said, I've had it up for probably 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think I've mentioned anything about it. Feel a little weird about it, but it's there if you want to take a look at it. But yes, that was a gold card conversation. Now let's get to the Q&A. First off, what is everyone drinking right now? Because I have a s'more stout. It is really good. It's from a local brewery here, just in Bangor, Blank Canvas Brewery. The guy there does really good work. He has some pretty interesting one. He's a dill cucumber beer he makes. It's actually pretty good. So he does some things outside the box, but this s'more stout is pretty freaking fantastic. I'm really happy about it. So, all right, let's get to some Q&A. Leave your questions down below. Remember, this is all about for you. So I'm really excited for this. Okay. All right, let's see. Lee says, when they start approving business Chase cards again, when will they start approving for Chase business cards? Lee, I think it'll be a little while. I think Chase has really is definitely been more conservative for a bit, especially with the environment of the economy. The stock market looks relatively good, but unemployment numbers are higher. They're just protecting themselves. So it won't be, I think, until after this is over, they kind of loosen it up. I know I saw length of business, it looks like they've stopped. I don't know if it's changed, but sole proprietors were being rejected with that business selection. And basically also they want people, I think, banking with them as well. So, all right. Okay. Let's see, getting through my crackle. Sing a Frank Sinatra song and make it all better. I don't think you want to hear me sing. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. So, all right. What's going on, Sean? How you doing? All right, let's see. Everyone, what's going on, Mark? What's going on, Ian? Shamrock, man, a lot of people here tonight. It's great. What's going on, Jake? How you doing? If you guys don't know Jake, Jake's got a YouTube channel as well. Check him out. I think Jake recently joined my Facebook group, and him and I are close to 10,000. I think he's going to pass me for it. He's just growing so fast. He's got great content. So if you haven't checked out Jake yet, be sure to do that. I don't think you'd be disappointed. He's got some great stuff over there. David, we got another credit card YouTube superstar on. Jake is a superstar. So yes, check him out. How would the gold rank? Okay, Aaron, I think I covered that one. How would the gold rank versus the surpass? I think that the gold card is comparable in the sense of the value you get. You can typically turn those points into 1 to 3 if you were going to if you wait for the promotional period. Plus, you get a lot of options with airlines as well. So if it were me personally, I would still probably, if I had the gold card, go gold card because I can always turn them into Hilton points. But if you didn't have the card and go in Hilton cards, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Let's see. The star. I don't know, Jake. I don't know if I'm the star, man. Let's see. Gold card is the best, man. Jake, the gold card is such a solid card. I think with these promotional periods, we kind of overlook that this is all temporary. And the gold card is still going to be the gold card when everything settles back down. So, right now it may not look as pretty just because, it's almost like playing, I would say like playing Mario Kart, and the gold card has kind of been in the lead for dining and groceries for a bit with those categories. And, Chase just kind of threw some red shells and hit out. And, the gold card's kind of spinning for a second, but it'll get back on the track and eventually pass it up again for those categories. Let's see. Chase is just testing those 5X on the grocery long term. One can wish. Absolutely, Shamrock. We can wish on that. I'm not so sure they're sold on that one, but I agree with you. They could be testing something. I think they're going to see a lot of success with the Sapphire Reserve, and it should further show them they need to add a grocery category to one of their cards. Let's see. I'm still only in the Chase ecosystem. I haven't branched out yet. I think that's, for people getting into the game, Ian, I think I understand 100%. I have a video I'm working on. I haven't shot it yet, and I'm actually a little nervous to shoot it. I'm not as high on the Chase ecosystem anymore personally, but I'm also later in the game. And I think there's a lot of reasons why Chase doesn't appeal to me anymore. But there is still value there. But when you compare it to other programs, it's starting to really lose any lead or luster it had. Let's see. I think, did I get a... Wow, thank you, David, so much for the question, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Let me get into your question fast. Having a co-branded American Express card like Delta would help. Having a co-branded credit card such as Delta, would it help with a banking relationship to change a charge card? I think one it would help you because you've already established that relationship, David. But charge cards with American Express are on the easier side to get, and typically, I'll say typically, require a lower credit score for people to get in with American Express, and historically, that's what you've seen. So if you have a card like Delta, it should help you get a charge card. If you don't have a relationship at all with American Express, you could probably start with the charge card and work your way into those credit cards as well. Wow. Thank you, Steve, on the East Coast. I appreciate the super chat as well. Thank you so much. Would you do a video on places to travel domestically after the quarantine in June and July? I could definitely throw together a video for places to travel domestically. I've done a couple videos on award programs. I think I've done the best programs for domestic travel as well. Don't know if you've seen that video. I go through a bunch of different reward programs as well on which ways to use. So, but I could definitely put some videos on places that'll be beneficial, maybe safer to travel to. I'll use safer loosely after this is all over. Let's get back up top and see. Let's see. Jake Bro, you doesn't reply. A few credit card people. Yeah, I have to applaud Jake on that too, Andrew, for not really touching on the stimulus videos. I know I've done a couple videos, and I'm not going to knock the hustle of any YouTuber out there doing it because it is such a hot topic. And just judging by the views, they're in the growth some of the channels have had, they have really, really blown up. So I'm happy for them, but I know for me, the passion is definitely in credit cards, rewards, and travel, which maybe aren't hot topics right now, but they will come back, but I'm happy for the channels that have really grown and have really made, Jesus, I was looking at, was it Wise Flies and Travel Explore Click? Those two guys, and even Pointers have just blown up. So, I've touched on a couple ones. I don't even know if Jake's done any stimulus videos, but I applaud. I totally understand not doing them on the regular because it's a lot for people, but not going to knock the hustle on those people too. They should switch the $100 airline fee to the gold just to double up on the dining credit. I think that'd be a good user-friendly move, Jake. I agree with that. That if they were to move that airline fee over to another dining credit or even a grocery credit, let's think outside the box here. A grocery credit, something that their people could feel value on, then you know what? They may enjoy it just a little bit more and feel more value there. And yes, the American Express style mantra of these allowance-based credits, $20 a month would be totally worth it here. Fernando asked, when do I plan on traveling again? Oh, you know what? It's so funny. I stuck that video I shot about traveling before all this really broke out. I actually pulled that video and just judging based on the data, because the data's changed since that video, which was only 8 weeks ago. I don't think we'll travel for a little bit just because of the fact we have a young one, another little one on the way. Got to make sure I'm protecting them as much as I want to get on a plane now. And if it were deemed safe, I would get on a plane right now. But I have to just be careful for them. So when everything settles down, I don't think, just everything I'm reading too, international travel seems to be further away, and it'll probably be more domestic travel if and when we can start traveling. Hopefully I'm hoping by fall, but we'll have to wait and see how everything's looking. See. Joseph asks, is the Surpass card offering 12x as well, or just the Aspire? Joseph, the Surpass is also offering 12x on grocery stores, making that $95 fee card a fantastic card right now. So totally worth it. Shamrock says, a small tweak American Express could do on the gold card is allow dining credit to be at any restaurant rather than the Cheesecake Factory. Man, I agree 100%. I have like this love-hate relationship with American Express because I love what they're doing in the sense of these appreciation credits and these extra credits and doing all these awesome other things. But then they always like throw like a little curveball where it's like, we'll give this to you, but it's only going to be here, here, and here. It's great to see them offer it, but I agree. If they could let any restaurant cover it, it would be great. Because that's what the Hilton Aspire is going to be letting me do, is any restaurant, I'm going to get to use up that $250 credit, which I'm really happy about. It'd be a user-friendly move here. Also, the airline credit, move that either to a general travel credit for someone that they can use later this year, or some sort of other usable credit, as opposed to it's so archaic. I wish they would have added these multipliers to the Freedom Unlimited. Charles, I think the reason why they didn't do that and they added it to the Reserve was the fact that Reserve now has a $5.50 fee. The Freedom Unlimited is free, fee free. So people aren't going to cancel that card because of the fact they're not getting extra value. The Reserve is on the chopping block. The Platinum card is on the chopping block. These cards with $250, $450 fee plus, if you're not traveling, there's no reason to keep them. So they have to entice you and incentivize you to keep the card for some reason. And that is meaning they have to give these credits right now. I don't think they don't want to do this. I don't think there's any way someone says we really want to do this for people. They just don't want to see their retention break down and people start closing out cards or converting to fee-free cards. Are you not a fan of the Hilton Surpass card, looking to obtain the card soon? David, I think the Hilton Surpass card is a really solid card. I think Hilton Gold status is the best mid-level status out on the market right now when it comes to hotel status. If you're someone who travels relatively, at least a couple times a year and you stay at Hilton properties, Hilton Diamond status has been good for me. The lounge access has been pretty decent. The airline credit I've been able to use, although I have to jump through some hoops every now and then. And now with the $250 resort fee, I'll be able to use for dining over the next couple months. It's been beneficial for me. So I would take a look at those comparisons for yourself. But Surpass card, I think that's a solid card, especially someone who stays at Hilton with that gold status. Let's see. Why don't you think they add that? Okay, I covered that one for you, Charles. Yeah, like I said, I'm actually drinking a stout, which is great. I'm a dark beer fan. I don't really, I don't discriminate against any beer. I'll drink any of them, but given the choice, definitely a dark beer. What are your thoughts on the $450 Marriott Brilliant $300 credit that can be used on any restaurant? There could be devaluation since they allow you to use it. There could be since they allow you to spend towards status. David, I think it's a good question. I think it's a great move by the card. I do. I'm not personally super high on the Marriott program. Their customer service has been lackluster, I feel, since they've merged with SPG. I feel like there's constant IT issues, these stealthy devaluation, like I'm not haven't been a fan of it, but I like this move from the card. It does give a lot of value. And for people who do stay at Marriott, that weekend certificate, the $300 credit, you're definitely getting, I believe, positive value from this card, even if you're not traveling this year, because that certificate, I believe, was extended, so you can use it in the future. For me, I think it's good. I don't see programs devaluing. Oh, I should rephrase that. I didn't see programs devaluing, but Chase and or United and IHG made a liar out of me and made a boneheaded move to devalue their programs, or IHG starting to look into that. Charles says gold and blue business plus is the best combination. Man, that blue business plus is solid. It's a very solid card. Let's see. Matthew says, was thinking of applying for the Aspire card. There probably won't be a better time to apply to Hilton Resort credit for dining. The extra 3 months hit that. I think it's a great move. Absolutely. That for me, that sign up bonus, I believe it's still 150,000 points, is worth a lot of money. The $250 now resort credit being used for dining it would essentially reduce that fee if you're buying, dining out, which I don't know about you. Like I tend to cook at home, but sometimes I don't feel like cooking. And there's a pretty good noodle place down the street. So we get noodles every once in a while. So I'm going to burn through that pretty quick just because it'll be there for me. So I'm definitely a big fan of it. And I would definitely agree. It's a great time to get it. Ink Cash is your favorite card at the moment. There's nothing. The Ink Cash, I think, is Chase's best card, Ben. It's just 5x on so many different categories. There's just so much value there for people. And even if you're a cash back fan, 5% back on those on your cell phone, cable, internet, office supply stores is a really good value. Let's see. Got my $75 save of $195 annual fee. That's awesome. Was that on the that's on the business the Delta Business Platinum, right, Roger? So that was one of them that was rolled out. It's really good for them to do that. I think it does incentivize people to keep the cards. Do I think any of the airlines are going to go bankrupt? I don't think they're going to be allowed to fail. So I don't think any of the airlines are going anywhere. I do see American Airlines stock, though, falling. I checked it yesterday. I didn't check it today, but it was like 9.75 a share. So it has dipped down. I don't know if I see them going bankrupt, though. I don't. That's the one I'm most worried about, I guess, would be American Airlines. But I can't say I see them going bankrupt or failing. I just don't see that happening. I rock the gold blue business plus combo when not bonus hunting. That's a great combination. It's a very solid earner. Absolutely. Don't leave out the everyday preferred. Bump that up too. The everyday preferred is a great card. I agree, Shamrock. Having that, if they could increase the $6,000 spend on that as well, that'd be awesome. There'd be so much potential there for people, and I feel like it would just earning those membership reward points would be great. That $6,000 limit, maybe year over year, is pretty good. This kind of extenuating circumstance, seeing them bump that up would be a really good, I think, customer service for like a customer friendly move, and let people feel like they're getting value over the course of the year, because some people are going to run up against that $6,000 limit. Let's see. Andrew agreed for the Blue Cash Preferred. Makes no sense that 6,000 cap when the Blue Cash has the same cap. Yeah, I agree. It's just going to be hard if, especially, people are spending a lot on groceries. I mean, I asked a question in the community tab, and I can't remember who it said, but he was spending like $900 a month, $900 a month on groceries. So that's a lot of money. He's going to run through, if he had the Blue Cash Preferred or, the Everyday Preferred, he's going to hit that limit so fast. 6 months into the year, it's basically done. So, it's they should increase it, especially for those larger ones. Red Bull and vodka, man, you're having a party over there, Charles. Let's see, Japanese lager. That sounds delicious. Appleton. All right, that's good. Let's see. Drinking a very pedestrian rum and Coke. You know what? Nothing wrong with a good rum and Coke over there, solid liquid. Let's see. Got 5x at supermarkets, but 1x on Costco with the CSR. Yeah, I think there's I've seen people posting about it too. That the 5x works at Target and Walmart if it sells groceries. I'm not exactly sure how they're coding that correct, how that's all coded, but 5x of those stores where you can't normally get that is great. Also for people who have other cards to earn that, Chase is there's no exclusions for Chase to buy gift cards. So you can always buy gift cards up to that $1,500 monthly limit during this promotion and use them later on. So you could still take advantage fully of other cards from American Express and Chase by using gift cards. I would not, I'll repeat this, would not use American Express to buy gift cards. Not worth the risk to me, not worth the potential clawback, not worth it at all. Chase, though, fair game. Let's see. Can one get a Kroger gift card for Q2 to move to other cards? Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're just talking about. You can totally do that with, Sapphire Reserve or the Chase Freedom. Load up on gift cards to use for later in the year if you want to, and you'll earn a boatload of points in the process. Let's see. Do you think someone with really good credit could apply for the personal Chase card with their more strict approval criteria? Maxie, I would wonder, what's your credit score? Do you already have a relationship with Chase, and what's your credit profile look like? Do you have a year of credit history and any other information like that? If you have a score over 700, you have a relationship with Chase, you have a overall low debt income ratio, I would think you'll be pretty good. I think that they're looking for people. They might be. Let me rephrase that. I think you'd have a good opportunity for it. They're getting more stricter, across the board with banks, but someone who is shown to be a reliable person to pay their bills isn't someone they're worried about. I think they're going to be more worried about someone who potentially could have, maybe on the lower income side, who has more debt. That's who they're really looking at. If you looked, Chase removed on the Freedom and Freedom Unlimited the balance transfer options for people, because I don't think they want that business right now. They don't want to risk giving someone interest-free time period for 15 months only then to eat that debt later on. So if you're hitting those check boxes, I think you're good. We'll have to see, Jake, who hits the 10,000 first. I'm putting my money on you, man. I'm putting my money on you. Hey, Key, how's it going? Let's see. Do you believe Chase will do as they usually do and follow American Express by allowing the travel credits be used as dining? I don't think they're going to move on that right now. I think they could potentially do that if this period of lack of travel is extended. I would like to see them do that, but I don't see it happening before the end of June. I could totally be wrong here. I think they've made their announcements. If come June things are still in this spot, I could see them extending that out or making that adjustment so people are more likely to keep that card, because $300 to not travel and you're not getting any benefit is still a hard sell. Just like what the Prestige did. The Prestige, while they didn't add a multiplier, which I wish they would have, being able to use that $250 travel credit if you still had it on dining in supermarkets is a big benefit for people, and it could be a factor for them in keeping the card or not. Let's see. Ben says, I've been hearing good things about Jake. Need to check him out sometime. Ben, check him out. Hit that subscribe button on his channel. Turn that bell notification on as well. I promise you will not be disappointed. Jake has a very good perspective on things. Sometimes he thinks outside the box. Great information. You would not be disappointed. Let's see. What's up, Point Blank Travel? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by for the podcast. Thanks for stopping by the live stream. I appreciate it. These are a lot of fun for me. I love just interacting with everyone and just having a good time. So, thanks for stopping by. Poophead, what's going on, man? What Chase rejected me, so I jumped on the American Express Platinum. No regrets. Yep. Once you get a rejection from Chase for 524 or whatever, I could see why people would jump over. American Express seems to be a little bit more friendly on things, but I am going to guess they're going to tighten up on stuff at some point. Just my guess, but either way. Let's see. Shamrock says, make a video that is stimulus in the title, say nothing else, and watch the subscribers come in. No, that that's actually pretty funny. I don't know if I could do that one. I think if a second stimulus check is passed, I'll probably do an update on that, but just one video. I don't see myself doing multiple of it. I do like to make that so people are known about what they're potentially receiving, but the daily, I don't know if I could do more than that. I don't know. Like I said, hats off to the guys that are doing dailies on them, but just it's not my cup of tea. Let's see. Esta sitting on a stash of Sky Miles, AA, United, IHG, and Hyatt. Hold or cash out. You're not really cashing out anything with that. I would say right now, if you feel comfortable booking something later this year, early next year, hoping that there's travel, I would book because, well, Sky Miles are Sky Miles. AA is fine. United, I'm worried about because they've devalued their program during this time. We're already seeing prices increase on coach and business class tickets on partners. So by them doing that, it really, I feel, eroded the value of United miles as a whole. Because one of the great ways to get better and more oversized value was using partners. And now that the partners have been moved to dynamic it's going to be variable, kind of like what we see with Delta right now. Delta miles can be a great value for people. They can also be a really crappy value. I mean, 350,000 miles one way for a business class ticket or, 98,000 miles round trip for a domestic coach ticket is not a good use of your points. And that's what I think we're going to see United do with with their points. But I do see the long-term trend of programs moving this way. It just makes sense because a lot of people don't understand how to redeem their points, and it makes it easier for the average person. I think Hyatt made a customer friendly move, so I think you could hold on them right now. I don't think they're going to be doing anything much longer. Roger, thank you for using the Rakuten, my Rakuten referral link. I really appreciate it. And enjoy your 3,000. Did you go cash back or do membership reward points? Either way, enjoy your rewards, man. Let's see. Thanks for answering my question. 424 currently moved to Chase business cards. Guess with then being stopped. We got my 524 moved to American Express. I think it's a good move, Lee. If you can get your fifth card in with Chase before moving on, do that, then move on. I think once you get your cards with Chase in place, I know some people like to wait to get back under 524. I personally don't believe to do that. There's just too much value out there in points and other programs. And while maybe someone wants to say, I would never open a city card, I don't know, man. 60,000 city points can do a lot of traveling for people. So learn how to use other programs, and I think you'll be for the better for it. Let's see. Things are bad when Marriott's giving something good, like 30-night credit. Man, Marriott, I think, is in a spot right now. I just read, too, that they sold points or something to Chase and American Express for like $920 million. I read that a little bit before we went live. A lot of these programs are selling points and miles to credit card companies. You've also seen programs, offer 50, 30, 100% bonus on purchasing miles because they're looking to get cash. So they're basically liquidating airline miles or hotel points to get their cash in hand to use it, which if a lot of people take advantage of that, then at some point I feel they would need to devalue points because when you have so many points in circulation, you have to reduce the value or else it adds to their their debt ratio. Let's see. Um, Roth asked, min spend on Hyatt card count towards 15,000 free night certificate. Absolutely does, Roth. So when you hit that, what's it now? It's two tiered. When you hit that $6,000, you're only $9,000 away. If you're someone who's looking for that certificate at that category 1 through 4, totally worth doing. It is that, and probably the Surpass card are probably two of the better non-flexible currency cards, best for non-daily spend because of those certificates you can earn with those as well. Let's see, Goof Chase in the let's see. Again, Steve, thank you much. Steve on the East Coast, thanks again for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. Let's see. The only reason, oh, stupid YouTube. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Fernando, for that super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks again for the second one, man. Wow. Let's see. The only reason I keep the Sapphire Reserves for travel protections and Hyatt. Shy of that, I'm Team American Express all the way. Membership reward points are just so much more better. I think there's a lot of value membership reward points. One question I have for you guys, and this is something I've been thinking about more and more, and I haven't been able to tie the video together yet, is travel protections are great. How many times have you guys used travel protections? And what's the limit that you would be willing to accept for travel? So, the Sapphire Reserve is great because it has that 6-hour kick-in period. I've been delayed twice, or I've had my flights canceled twice, but it would have been covered enough by a 12-hour cancellation period by a Chase Sapphire Preferred, or even my Bank of America Preferred Premium Reward card. So I'm curious, how many of you had to use it, and is it what's your cutoff for what you'd like for it? I'm just curious on that. Any news on new American Express cards? Greg, nothing yet. I know that they're supposed to be releasing 2 premium, ultra premium light cards, I guess I'll call it. So, or they've put holders for it. So, I'm thinking a lot of banks, even US Bank pulled off on offering other cards because of the fact, I think, of this team. I was keeping an eye on PenFed for that Pathfinder reboot for months. I literally check it daily, and then they pulled the card off their website. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I hope it comes back because I did. So fun fact, I used to batch a lot of my content at once because it was just easier for me to do. I've stopped doing that as much, but I used to batch a couple videos at a time, and I batched the PenFed Pathfinder card when it was the American Express card to go out on a later date. Shot it, edited, it was ready to go. It was scheduled to go live, I think on a Friday. Was it a Friday? And Thursday, they pulled the application. So I did all this work for the video to go live, and they didn't, and it got pulled. So I stopped batching everything so far in advance after that. So lesson learned. But there was this really nice feature about that card. I don't think it was talked about much by people, was that the PenFed Pathfinder offered 6 hours of travel protections of trip delay coverage. The limit was like $200 or $300, but for a fee-free card, that 6-hour protection was that of the Chase Sapphire Reserve, but had a lower limit. So the trade-off is lower limit, shorter time period on a no-fee card. And I feel like a lot of people will be willing to make that trade-off. Let me know what you think on that one too. American Express greater than everyone. That's interesting. I think American Express has a lot going for it. And there's that article I talked about in a video a while ago about American Express being accepted at virtually basically the same number of places as Visa and MasterCard domestically. I was paying a couple bills today, and the American Express not accepted. So, that acceptance rate for me, I agree. American Express is great. Not going to argue that at all. But that acceptance rate in not being as widely as Visa and MasterCard. I've never walked into a place where it's only American Express. I've walked into places where it's Visa, MasterCard. So they need to still work on that, but I agree. American Express, still great. Hey, Charles, tell your daughter I say hi. How you doing? Thanks for watching. Let's see an award booking demonstration soon. Joseph, I plan to get back to that. I've let that kind of fall off, and I apologize for that, everyone. Between the podcast startup and the slowdown and whatnot, and trying to get things here and a lot of background stuff, getting things set up, that did kind of take a back just because of that took a back seat just because of all the time those take. But I do have some I want to do, and I will get back to those very soon because I do enjoy the award booking demonstrations. Might even do it live just because I haven't done that in a long time. But those will be coming back very soon. So I apologize that those have kind of fallen off the bandwagon, but something had to give for me to get the podcast up and going. Let's see. Let's see. Key says, Dustin, it would be great to hear your thoughts on why you're not high in the Chase ecosystem. I have the video written to shoot, and I'm really trying to make sure, and I'm wanting to shoot it. I might shoot it the next couple of days. The American Express stuff kind of caught up, so I did that. I've stayed on that for a couple of days. But it will definitely, I think, some people won't agree with it, which is totally fine. But I'll shoot that in the next couple of days and get that out because I think that would be a fun topic. Everyone's really high on Chase. I have personally not as high on Chase anymore as I used to be for a handful of reasons. And you'll have to wait for the video. I'm excited now about it because it'll be definitely a controversial video, and those are always fun. Let's see. United is on free fall though. They come out universally hated after their current situation passes. Yeah, man, Solid Liquid, I agree. United has dropped the ball on a few things, handing people back their money, playing these games with vouchers and then whatnot, and then the reward program. That's just a bad look altogether. Let's see. Have you heard of Chase City American Express getting more strict on approving personal cards? I've seen a couple tidbits of information on Chase and that more are coming. City, I haven't heard much about. American Express, nothing as of yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if it started coming very soon from those banks. What's in my wallet this month? My wallet's upstairs. Let's see. So Tyree, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by. In my wallet right now, I've got the Everyday Preferred, which I just took back out of my wife's wallet for a couple of transactions. But that I should be hitting the minimum spend on that very soon. And I got the premium reward card. I got a cash reward card, Bank of America cash reward card in there. Got the Chase Freedom, and I think the Discovery card in there as well. That's currently what's in my wallet. I run primarily a cashback setup unless I'm working on points for bonuses. It just works out well for me. Let's see. Rewards never go out of style. I love the rewards, and I think people will come back to them. But I can tell you, Jake, if you're still watching, you have to let us know. I feel like overall the reward videos have just seen a lower turnout, if you will. But doesn't matter. I love that stuff, and I'll keep talking about it because it's just a big passion of mine. Bank of America, I bet. Get hungry, stay hungry. You're right, man. Let's see. I've been in the Chase ecosystem for years now, looking move towards City American Express. So I'm working on American Express, open a Delta card, Hilton, but I don't want to use an inquiry on the charge card. So David, if you have an American Express card already, then typically they do a soft pull for you. I haven't been so lucky. They do hard pulls for me for their cards. I don't know why, but typically if you have an American Express card, you have it's a soft pull for you. Holy cow. Wow. Thank you so much, Joseph, for that super chat. That is extremely generous of you. Thank you so much. And yes, we are super excited for the new baby on the way. It'll be, I got to earn more points for family of 4 flying now. But wow, that is super generous. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, let's see. Dustin, any thoughts on doing a video about traveling internationally when you don't speak the local language? I'll be honest, I shy away from places where English isn't spoken by most. So Shamrock, I actually plan on doing that, I think possibly in a video or a podcast talking about that, because I think you recommended that in the Facebook group. I think I remember you recommending that either in the community tab or Facebook group, and I wrote that down because I think it's a great topic because of the fact I do see a lot of people. I've talked to people, and I think it's come up in other groups too, where I just kind of lurk around, that they're worried about that language barrier. So I think that is definitely a topic on my list to do. I'm just trying to decide if I want it to be a video or a podcast. Um, I've noticed the travel stuff where I can go longer has done a little bit better on the podcasting platform as opposed to video. The video stuff, when I get talking about travel, it seems people aren't as interested. So I'm deciding on which one. Let me know, would you prefer a video or a podcast on it? Let's see. Dave's already moving away from Chase. Additionally, have you burned through your points or plan on leaving some for a rainy day? All right, let's see. American Express aren't talked about much. Decent value. American Express offers are like a hidden gem. Not only that, but I recently got, is it right here? This one is I got the cash card too. I mean, you wouldn't know it because it looks like a plain plastic card. But the cash card, SoFi, these cards that are offering these promotional rebates, even like Chase offers to a lesser extent, are really good. And I think they kind of skew or they alter the rewards. Because if, for example, I have an offer on the cash card for 10% back at Groceries up to like $7.50 in rewards. That's really good. 10% back is more than what I value 5x Chase points. So I'm more likely to use that than I am to use my freedom at the grocery store. So it definitely changes, I think, the perception of what things could be done for a point. So I agree. Let's see. I mean, they'll eventually fall off as they were there for stimulus only. Nothing to worry about. I appreciate that. There's a lot of good YouTubers out there, and I'm happy to see the community grow and have such a great community of people who are here with me. So I appreciate that. Abel says, what's going on, Abel? How you doing, man? I hope all is well with you. Any appreciation offers for the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve? I haven't seen anything yet. I got to give them a call to see what they're doing. I'd love to see them offer that travel credit as a dining credit in this interim, but nothing I've heard of yet. U.S. Bank, I'm hoping they catch on the bandwagon there. I'm even hoping Bank of America does something because, that premium reward card I have, that $90 with $100 airline credit, hoping that changes to a dining credit as well. I mean, if that happens, I want to buy so many like Wendy's chicken nuggets. It's going to be awesome. Can you just imagine? I'll do a live stream with like $100 worth of nuggets here and just eat them all for you guys. Let's see. Let's see. Second part about Hilton. Any updates on U.S. Bank travel card updates? Jesse, nothing yet from U.S. Bank. I've been checking it. I know they've pushed it back just because of what's going on, I think, with the economy. And U.S. Bank has been a conservative bank for approvals for a while. So I think it's unlikely that we will see them, one, introduce a card right now, and then one, be opening the gates for people to apply. So I think it'll be a really good opportunity like when it comes out. I think the last date I heard was June 1, so we'll have to wait and see. I have those videos like almost ready to go. There are a couple pieces of information. I've seen the leaks. And when digging into it, there's a couple more questions I have. So rather than doing a review on a card with just leaked information, I will wait so I can dig into the deeper fine print to make sure I give you a complete and better review of the card. I just don't think I would be doing my job if I only did it based off leaks right now. Hopefully soon. Let's see. I also had Hilton Surpass, one of my favorites because of multipliers. Now I have a question for you. All right, David, let's see. I think I saw it down. Give me 1 second, David. I'll get to your question. Let's see. Any updates on the PenFed credit? I haven't seen any updates on the PenFed credit. I have seen very little information about that key since they've pulled it. I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff there yet. The MPX app trick on a lot of cards has been pulled. So that kind of seems to be dead from a lot of cards. But yes, it's currently been pulled off the PenFed website. Yeah, I'm hoping they bring it back to market after this is all done. And maybe they just got tired of saying coming soon. And hoping just to wait to see when it's all settled to bring it back. Let's see. Puerto Rican Sloth. Love your name. Puerto Rican Sloth. I love it. I'll be under 524 in July. If Chase doesn't loosen the restrictions for ink cards, what would you recommend for the next Chase card, the Hyatt card, or Chase Sapphire Preferred? So I think Puerto Rican Sloth, it depends on what you're looking for here. Long-term value with that Hyatt certificate, Hyatt is going to give you, I think, a better long-term value. I think the Chase Sapphire Preferred is basically good for a bonus. 2x on travel and dining isn't exciting anymore. The $95 fee, it's got good travel protections, but 2x doesn't really cut it anymore, especially since the fact you earn 1.5x on the Freedom Unlimited. Yes, you do give up those travel protections, all those, a majority of them, but it's not worth the extra half point per dollar 95 for that $95 fee for me. So personally, I would go Hyatt just because it gives longer value proposition based on that certificate. Let's see. Prashid says, are you focused on earning cash back right now or still accumulating points for the future travel? So my strategy for the last couple of years has been earning cash back for my daily spend, but I open point cards for the bonuses and I earn points that way. Nothing has changed there. I am still earning points. I'm working on a bonus for the everyday preferred right now. And once I hit that, which I should hopefully hit, which I'll probably hit in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, it will be, I'll be moving back to cash back until another card catches my eye. But, that's just the way I've been for a couple of years. I'm a coach flyer. I stay at Airbnb. For me, it works out well for me. Those really do help out. Let's see David's question. Okay, David, Hilton Surpass or City Premier for everyday gas, grocery, and I think it depends on for the flexibility portion. If it were me, I would probably go City Premier. And I say that because of the opportunity in the sense of transferring out to so many different airline partners. It's a really good value there. If you are really into Hilton, and I mean you stay there nonstop, you could look at Hilton, but flexible currency for me generally wins out. There are just so many good airline partners for City. If Hilton woke up tomorrow and slashed their rates in half, all the points you earn, I'm not thinking they're going to do that, by the way. Any points you earn from Hilton would now be worth, half as much. If City decided they were going, Virgin Atlantic cuts the rates in half, you still have other options for your points. So for me, I'm still going City Premier here. If you're buying domestic, you can come to Cali and visit Orange County. Charles, I'm coming out, as long as it's still happening, I'm going to FinCon. It's in Long Beach in September, October, if it's still going on. The emails I'm getting, FinCon is still going on. So I'll be out. I potentially could be out in California in the fall time. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to getting on a plane again. Let's see. I'm having mixed emotions about the everyday preferred now that City's stepping up the Premier. I mean, love, hate City. Premier will be solid for $95. I agree. I think the Premier card will be really solid. That 3x for adding groceries is a big one for people. I know some people were really upset at the fact they took away like general travel, but I'm okay with that. I think for the fact that how many people were doing a lot of those smaller, like other travel expenses, it's a smaller portion of people, I would think. So outside of like airfare and hotels. So I think it's good. The everyday preferred, I like the card for what it offers, but you have to be committed to using that one card for those 30 transactions. If you're not, then I definitely agree. I think the Premier wins there just because that 3x. If you can commit to the everyday preferred and you're looking for like just a simple rotation, I think the everyday preferred might lean in for people if they stay under that $6,000 cap. But either card would be great. Ingy says, with Chase tightening the business apps, I pulled the trigger on the business gold. Got instantly approved for earn 50,000 points after you pay your taxes. That's great, Yankee. I'm hoping that we see them add some sort of benefit to the business gold, or not business gold, like some sort of like credit to their card, like we've seen with like the business platinum or whatnot. So we'll have to wait and see. I think the reason why we haven't seen that is because one, it offers a lot of value in the point earning structure. Yeah, so we'll have to just wait and see. Chase needs to make a huge splash with United devaluing partner awards and Virgin Atlantic in trouble. Hyatt's our best partner. It would be nice for them to add Japan Airlines or Turkish. Japan Airlines would be good. There's a lot of value there. I agree, David. Turkish has some decent options. I think the big one people are on is that Hawaii 7,500 domestic, including Hawaii award. I have this gut feeling that's not going to last much longer. I think that people are, I don't want to say they're abusing it, but I feel like there's more publicity to it. But because of that, if that ended, David, where you couldn't do that, would you be as high on Turkish? There is some great opportunities there, but they do pass on those fuel surcharges as well, if I remember correctly. So let me know if they took away that Hawaii, I don't call it a loophole, the Hawaii benefit there, would you be as interested? Even American Express for eBay purchases, codes as PayPal and risk clawback. That's an interesting one. I think if you could prove, Brandon, it was a charge, you'd probably be okay, but we'll have to, I'm not exactly sure. What would my perfect Chase setup look like? That's a good question, Roth. I think it would have to include the Chase Inc. Cash, the Chase Inc. Unlimited. As someone who travels, I'd probably say the Sapphire Reserve, the Chase Freedom to earn those 5X. And then I would probably say the Hyatt card because I do like Hyatt properties. And I think those 5 cards there would be enough for me. Let's see. Someone's spamming. Should see. Can you still cash out Southwest points on Amazon? I think you can, but it's a really terrible value. I would not recommend doing that. Chase Slate is gone too. Yeah, I did see that, Isaac, that they did take away the Chase Slate. So I think Chase is really not wanting to get in the business of balance transfers for people because someone's balance transfers are not hurting their, they can make minimum payments on it. They're not hurting their credit. And then either they move it or they don't pay on it. So it'd be an interesting, I can see why they're not in that market right now. They could get back into it later on though. Let's see, Fernando, I applied for the Chasing Business Unlimited, denied. I have 2 other cards and checking and saving with them for a year. Fernando, do you have a business account with them though? That would be 1. And 2, did you apply as a sole proprietor? It looks like they've kind of clamped down on sole proprietors applying for their card. Let's see, Cameron says, if I book an American airline flight with Chase points, not transferred to, getting the 1.5, can I change my flight due to American change policy, or is that? So I've seen a few things. One, it looks like Chase is having people reach out directly to the airline, and Chase hasn't been necessarily as friendly or helpful to people with this. But I would believe, based on what I've seen, if you reach out to American, they will be able to take care of you on that. But it does show booking with the OTAs does pose some issues. But contact American, I believe that's what I've seen a lot of people who having issue with Chase do, and American's been handling that. And I think you should be okay there. When downgrading a card from Chase, do you wait for the annual fee to hit before calling to request a downgrade? Sean, I typically do because I will try to call for a retention offer, even if there's a slim to no chance. You just never know. So I wait, I call, and then I downgrade if there's nothing there. What's going on, Sammy from Chicago? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Let's see. Point Blank Travel. As a YouTuber myself, I'm tired of stimulus videos. I did, however, I made a U-turn right back to my credit card videos. Yeah, man, it's good to touch on it. I mean, I think we're in that market to where we could touch on it. So I totally get it, man. I totally get it. Let's see. Let's see. Jake Bros, Chamtex, whatever, his Champex video creating had me second guess my annual fee cards. Yeah, I think it's interesting, David, when it comes to the annual fee cards. I think people tend to look at them in a vacuum, right? They look at, I'm earning 4X or 5X or 3X here, but they don't compare it against the competition and what the value and how much they need to spend for that break-even point. When you start taking those numbers into consideration, some of these cards don't necessarily make sense for people. I think people want to think they make sense for them, if that makes any sense. They want to think that the platinum card works for them. They need the platinum card because when if you're trying to flex on people, if you want to make it seem like you're traveling more than you are, you want to seem like you're have a status level, or you just like it, or maybe you're emotionally attached to the card. I don't know, but when you run the numbers, I'm not sure the platinum card works out for as many people as they think it does. Um, so yeah, definitely double check those numbers. When the cost exceeds the benefit, I don't care what card it is. It's time to look for a way to cut that cost. I did a video this was a while back when I canceled my gold card, and people were like, "Why would you cancel it? It earned so well." But for me, it didn't earn well enough. Like, I didn't spend enough on those categories to value it over a 3% cashback card. I get it. It's a great card. I will not I will tell you, I think that is probably one of their best cards, but it wasn't a good card for me. Is the Sonic movie good because let's see. Is the Sonic movie good because it's a movie about Sonic? Yeah, I don't even know what you're saying. I haven't seen the Sonic movie yet. I played the game on Sega when I was a kid. That was pretty awesome when you'd be like Sonic and Tails and you spin them up and you catch the rings. Like, I remember playing that, but I haven't seen the movie yet. Let's see. Why do you think Chase and American Express are very different for approval? My last two credit cards, American Express, have been soft pulls. I think it's just a difference of the banking policies and the procedures they have going on there. I mean, Chase could do that if they want to, but they don't. I think it's just a difference in how the banks operate. Let's see. Talking to somebody else. Yankee says, I'm currently 324. Hyatt card is a no-brainer, but is the Marriott Boundless worth the slot with its devaluation? The only thing I want it for is a free night, but is that enough to justify the 524 slot? Yankee, I think that would depend on how often you stay at Marriott. Those certificates can offer a lot of value. Absolutely. But it really depends on how often you stay there. If you stay there once a year, maybe not. If you're just looking to have it, if you're finding you're struggling to use that certificate to get value out of it because you're paying that fee, probably not. My first was the platinum. Let's see. Is it possible for me to penguin? I mean, I think you're trolling me now. Are you? TJ Metal Sonic, you trolling me? Can you be a penguin? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can be whatever you want. You can probably check out some like iParty or whatever costume, and you can be a penguin if you want. But by all means, let's see. Shamrock says, I've used the travel protections on my CSR twice. Once on my Ritz. I live in an American airline hub. Knows about delays. It's funny. I was supposed to be coming back yesterday. I was supposed to be coming back from Toronto, and I used TripIt Pro. Love the service. And it told me that my flight from American Airlines was delayed. No one's traveling right now. How is American Airlines still delayed on a time when rarely anyone is traveling? It only goes with American. Like, I can't make that up. Let's see. I prefer aspirational redemptions. However, with airlines parking planes, with lounges being shut down, I wonder what aspirational travel will look like. Big seats are nice, but I enjoy the perks. I think it'll be interesting, David. I think for the short term, there's going to be a lot of award availability when it opens up. But I think you're going to have a lot of people. Like, I think the people who are, watching this channel and really who are hardcore points at miles people, we're probably more likely to get on a plane before the average person. So I think there could be a short-term possibility of more award space for those aspirational awards. Long-term, if it's going for a while and a lot of points are in circulation, we may see some devaluations later on. So just something to think about. But I do think that you'll have, I think, a relatively decent opportunity when this is over, because I think most people, the average person, is not going to be looking to travel very far, if at all, for a while. Just my thoughts on that. Let's see. I went to Chinatown in New York City, only accepted American Express. Really? I went to a place that only accepted American Express. That's interesting. I've yet to see it. I went to a couple years ago. I went to a football game. I went to a Patriots game, and we stopped off at this this pizza place. And the guy I took out, I think, actually my gold card at the time. And he's like, I don't accept American Express, because of the fact they charged a crazy fee for him, and he was explaining it to me. But if he didn't have a certain volume coming through, they charged him like a couple $100s. And he was a smaller shop, so it's hard to justify, I think, for some of these places, the fee plus like a penalty if you don't have a volume requirement. So that's tough. Let's see, Charles, I have a question for you. I'm 624, will be under 524 in about 2 months. Do you think I should get the City Premier? I like the City Premier. I think it's a great card. If you're not in a rush to get a new card, you could wait since potentially you're not traveling right now. I'm not sure if the City Premier will knock down its bonus from 60,000. I'm sure we'll get notices of that happening. But, if you want to get it, by all means, if you're over it, if you want to wait out to be under 524 to get another chase card to then go for City, personally, I wouldn't wait. But at the same point, there's no reason not to wait if you're not looking to travel, in the immediate future, and if you have enough points. Like, you can earn more points, but there's no reason to kind of jump the gun potentially if you're not traveling. I find Chase to be wanting. Be careful with that Chase video. The only reason why, Sebastian does some great stuff. I think he's one person that, I like his breakdown of information. So he does I think his breakdowns sometimes are just on a different perspective than mine. And he might be one of the few YouTubers I watch especially after I do video. I don't watch people's videos before I do them, just because I don't want people to think I took something from someone else. But he's got an interesting perspective on it, and I respect what he does. Let's see what American Express sets apart for me. The packability. The Rakuten Shamrock, the Rakuten benefit with American Express is huge. I think that's better than the Chase than the shop with Chase or whatever that crap is. By means, it is a really good opportunity to earn a lot of points in store, stack with the American Express offers. I agree, those are huge for American Express. Chase King, what is my favorite credit card and credit card company? Okay, that's a loaded question because I think it depends. It definitely depends. Favorite credit card? My Altitude Reserve is still doing pretty good. It's not getting as much love right now from me, but it's still a really good credit card. And I think for someone who travels a couple times a year, who uses mobile wallet payments, looking for decent travel protections, it could be good. A credit card company? You know what? I think American Express has top-notch customer service. Sure, I think the way they slice up their credits is ridiculous and childish, but overall, it really feels like American Express takes care of people, and I'm big on that. Like, that, to me, that's big. I've just seen American Express, anytime there's an issue I have, they seem to take care of it. And for me, that goes a long way. So while I'm not happy with things and I nail them at times, for a company, they do a great job taking care of people. Let's see. I am still doing the credit card consultations. I'll have to take a look at that. I haven't received any emails on them, so I will take a look at that variant and get back to you. I had assumed I haven't received any because people aren't literally traveling right now, but I'll have to double check Google Forms. I had an issue with Google not too long ago. I've been thinking about switching platforms for the consultation forms, where Google was sending them to my spam mail or not sending me forms when they came in. So I do apologize for that. I will check my Google Forms when I get done with this live stream and see what's going on there. But I am still doing them. So I do apologize for that. Charles, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys are too generous for me. You guys are everyone here is just so awesome. Let's see, Francis, how long before, how you doing, Francis? Francis came to my meetup when I was out in, and so did Abel. Both of them came to my meetup when I was out in the San Francisco area. How long before the new baby becomes an authorized user on one of your cards? Whenever I can get some bonus points for adding them to it. Let's see. Podcast would be great because you have a longer time to hit that with all the talking points to hit. Can't wait for it. Awesome. I'll make it into a podcast. That's kind of was my thought as well. for that, Shamrock, about the places to travel for that are maybe that could maybe help with the language barrier. I've been making some points for it. I might bring a guest on with that as well, just because of the fact I think it could be good, but if not, a solo won't be good, just because there's a lot of places I think that could be beneficial for people to visit, and I sometimes it's there's a lot of good things. So I'll leave it for the podcast, but I probably will make that into one. Let's see. Let's see. Governing California stated the bank they were working with ran out of plastic cards for stimulus metal money for employment. Well, man, they should just move to metal cards, right? Like everyone loves a good metal card. Um, let's see. Let's see. Any thoughts on making an issued Asiana card? It seems easy to get Starline's Gold for 2 years. Actually, the Asiana card could offer a lot of value for people. Asiana in general is a pretty decent program. If you're able to earn those miles, you can get them through their credit card, I believe through Marriott transferring. I believe Asiana's there. I know they have a bunch of partners, so you can earn some of these partners earn some of those miles for Asiana, and they have a pretty favorable an award chart, especially for those premium class flights. And I believe their fuel surcharge and their taxes fees aren't too terrible, but they're not. They do pass on some. It's not like Life Miles and United, but I think it's a good opportunity, especially if you're looking for that status. Let's see if I've let's see. Joseph, do you invest? Are you buying at the moment, just holding? Have you sold because of the market? So I'm getting more into investing. I have my IRAs and my 401ks and stuff we've rolled over, and those are more in the targeted markets, kind of just later on. I think I have them for like 20, 60 or something. Kind of a set it and forget it, because I'm happy with higher risk right now. But I will be dipping into more investing, probably doing the EFT funds or the EFTs, and putting more money in there. But I'm not selling anything because of the market. I don't want to sell low. I think if you have a long time in the market, I think it's worth holding, because I'm hoping I would historically the market bounces back. So I think it's a good time to, if you're someone investing, the market's dipping all over the place, like it's up and down, probably a better time to buy than sell. I mean, I wouldn't sell when it's low personally. Let's see. David says, do you believe Wells Fargo Propel pushes the envelope for Citi in the American Express Green? I think it depends on the person and how they and what they're looking for in terms of value. The Propel card, I think, is a great, solid, overall really good card. And I think a lot of people overlook it for some of those cards, such as Citi or for the green card. And I actually have a video I'm going to shoot, I think, comparing the Propel card to the green card and kind of breaking that down for people. But I think because it doesn't have transfer partners and it may not be the sexy option, some people overlook it. But I think it could push it in the sense that there is a lot of value in that Propel card, even with no fees. What's going on here? Let's see, Shamrock, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. You've been a supporter from the channel early on, so I do appreciate that. Some of you guys have been here, for instance, early on. I know Shamrock, you've been early on. Joseph's been early on. Like, there's just been a lot of you who've been here early on from the channel. I think I was like, a couple hundred large. So I appreciate you guys being here and supporting the channel for as long as you have. That just means a lot to me. Joe Cortez. Oh man. Joe is a points and miles writer. Joe, are you still on Twitch? Are you still doing stuff over on Twitch? Thank you so much, Joe, for the super chat. I appreciate it. I'll have to check out your reaction if you do it. Joe's a great guy. I've known Joe for a while. I used to read a lot of his stuff, and then I met him at CardCon a couple years ago, and Joe's a great guy. I'm very fortunate to know Joe. And thank you, Joe, for the super chat too. Let's see. I tell you, man, these YouTube chats, they just scroll the comments all over after a while. Let's see, Charles, if I get out that way, I'll definitely DM you to meet up. I might even have I'll possibly even have a meetup if I'm out if FinCon is still going on. Let's see. I would love to fly to from Hawaii to the South Pacific, New Zealand. I'm in LA. There's a lot of good options out there for you, David, if you're looking to fly that way. You have, I know you have like American Airlines as an option. You have Flying Blue flies the Fifth Freedom route to, was it PPT? So you do have some options out there. So keep a lookout for those. You have a lot of options from there. Let's see. Chase honors the airline refund. Okay, that's good to know. I've seen some mixed information, so that's good, Faker fans, on that data point. Let's see. How bad of an idea is to shoot for 2 American airline cards with I'm gonna say with the goal of redeeming for Etihad Apartments in 2021? If you're going one for Barclay, one for Citi, if you can meet the minimum spend, I think that's doable. Right, there's no restrictions on doing that. If it were me, I would probably apply for Barclay first because they're more conservative for application approvals, and then I'd go to Citi. But plenty of people go for both of those cards. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. And with Citi's, was it 1 per 8, 2 per 65 rule? You could get the Barclay Aviator, okay? Get the 50 or 60,000 points, whatever it's offering at the time. Get a personal Citi card, wait 8 days, and then go for the business Citi AA card. And you have 3 Citi AA cards if you can meet the minimum requirement, and a boatload of points that could make that potentially happen for you. Let's see. That's good to know. Thoughts on American Express retracting credits for gift card purchases from 2 years ago? That's a touchy one. I think 2 years ago is being petty for American Express Faker fan. But in all fairness, I'm waiting on my email from American Express because I bought gift cards. It was a loophole. It did explicitly say like gift cards were not included. I think 2 years though is petty as hell. Like that's at some point you got to take the L and move on. American Express should just take the L and move on. But 2 years, that's a bit much for me. But you know they're completely within their rights to do it, I guess. But let's see. Let's see. That's the reason why American Express is long. They're the best. You know, American Express is really great. You know, much as I crap on them, give them a hard time. You know, I'm an equal opportunity person to give credit when it's due and you know give them crap when it's not. You know, I feel like I try to be as objective as possible. But if something's not positive or if they're doing something that's not customer friendly, you know, I don't care who the bank is or what the product is. I will definitely give my 2 cents on it. Should I get a metal card? Joe, if you know what, Joe, there's this product called the Lion card. I'm super high on it. Sarcasm. You can get your face put on a card if you want. I think it is. Just have it like etched into it. You can have a custom metal card. I'm even plugging the card. I think is a complete crap show. But you know what? It'd be really good, you know, for scraping ice off your car. I think cutting a zucchini. You know, if you saw it up, maybe it could be good for cutting firewood. I have no idea. Is Rakuten 0%? Is the Rakuten usually 0% now for electronics? Names on eBay. I believe you would still get the 3X on it. I know there are some companies that pulled out of the portal because you get an extra, was it 3X on it? So you should still get the 3X from the credit card purchase. I know a lot of portals have some companies have pulled out of the portals for payouts. So you would probably get the 3X on it, not 3X plus the portal payout as well. The next one is the cold. Shamrock, thank you again for another super chat. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Man, you guys are too awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see, a few compliments on the gold card. Okay, let's see. Brother will open the Firestone credit card to say $50. Oh man, that's rough. Firestone, like, ouch. Ketchy says, I was referring to the Asia on a Visa signature card by bank, not transferring points. It comes to $25 spend. If you fly If you fly Star Alliance frequently, and then you can match that over to other programs later on, it could be worth it. Absolutely. If you're someone looking for status and utilizes status, I think that is a good option for you, Catchy, to use that Asiana card in that fashion. I meant, do you believe sitting refresh because of the Propel card? Do you think the Sapphire Pearls can follow suit? I don't think the green card was refreshed due to the Propel card necessarily. I think they took a look at that and seen the positive publicity that card got, and it helped. But in looking at those mid-level cards, American Express needed to do something that outdid Chase, as well as the Premier. So it definitely helped there. I don't necessarily think that it pushed into it. The Sapphire Preferred, I think, would be smart to update that and follow suit. The Premier, though, I think they did it because you saw the gold card success, and the Premier has a really good rounded structure, and that was really missing that grocery category. If Chase is smart, and I'd hope that maybe someone's smart over there at Chase, that are making decisions, they could see the benefit of adding a grocery category for their people and their customers. They're the only big bank that doesn't really offer it now, and they're missing out on that population of people who it could be beneficial to. So, let's see. Yeah, Shamrock, again, thank you for the super chat, Shamrock. The stimulus videos, not knocking the hustle like you said, but it's just not at my wheelhouse to do it. I don't have the energy for it, all those ones. And sometimes I'm not sure the updates warrant another video, but I'll be honest, I haven't really checked out a whole lot of videos on the stimulus videos recently, just because they no longer pertain to me. And I see them pop up in my feed all the time. See, Steve on the East Coast, do you think airline seat upgrades will be cheaper in the fall, winter? I previously purchased tickets to Lisbon and Brussels on TAP. They could be. If they're trying to upsell it to you, they could be trying to do that. I'd keep an eye out for it. They could maybe go to a bidding style to see how much you're willing to pay for it and go there. But the potential there for cheaper upgrades could be there if they're looking to fill those seats. How about the change to the Ducks Unlimited card? Man, Joseph, that was sad to see. That was really sad to see that it just happened. It just happened, for that 5%, was it sporting goods stores and gas stations to 1.5 everywhere else. It basically killed the card. It's not even worth talking about anymore because of that. But that was really sad to see because the Ducks Unlimited card was a really good under the radar card that wasn't really talked about from a lot of people. Although someone in the Facebook group did say that they talked to him, and I haven't confirmed this, but that they said that when they spoke to the people for Ducks Unlimited, people who had the card were grandfathered into that 5%, but all new applicants were not. So if you have it, let me know if you're still getting 5% or if it's now at that 1.5. Let's see. I'm about to start with the Lion card you recommended for me. Joe, thank you again for the super chat. Oh man, I appreciate that. You just bought this with the Lion card. Man, it's Joe. I don't know if you guys have seen the comments, but Lion actually commented on that, asking me to try out their product. And I just told him I declined. It'd be really hard for me to accept a product I think that wouldn't benefit you all and talk about it in a positive light. And I've seen people, I know people were like, when I shot that video and posted it, they thought I was taking shots at people, and I wasn't. The video is because there's a lot of videos of people giving positive reviews to that card. My question to that has always been, would those people pay for that product? It was given to them, right? It's a promotional thing. We'll give you a card, you review it, put it in a positive light. There's a picture of me or my logo on a card. Cool. But would those people actually pay for the product? If they're only taking the freebies and never go back to it, was there really value in that card for them, or was it a freebie? I'm not exactly sure. If people like that stuff, I had people, people left comments saying like, thank you so much for doing this for a hate video. I'm going to go buy a product right now. Like, I don't really care. It's not my money. I think it's a useless product overall. And again, when we meet in Columbus, Joe, that would be awesome. Um, that's a running joke. So how's Charlotte, by the way? Are you still in Charlotte, Joe? Let's see. What's your opinion on the city premiere? Changes coming in August seem intriguing. I currently have the Sapphire Reserve. Don't plan on traveling too much for the year or two. Looking for an alternative. If you're not looking to travel, I think the city premiere is a solid. I mean, even if you are, the city premiere is a solid alternative. I think it's solid for its earning rates. The big knock on city is they pulled the travel protections off that card about a year ago or so, give or take, a while back. If they added it back on, the city premiere would really go up the list of cards for people. So I think it's a solid card, especially when you stack it with a card like the double cash where you can transfer over 3x on travel, groceries, gas, and a couple other categories, can't remember right now. And then 2x everywhere else. That duo is a killer combination for people. Let's see. Let's see. Can you speak on upgrading the Hilton card at this time? As far as upgrading your card, so I mean, if you take a look, if you have one of the cards, and typically after the 1 year mark, JJ, they'll send you an email or check in your American Express offer section. They might send you an upgrade offer to where you can upgrade to either the Surpass or Aspire card, get the bonus for it, and not take off, and you'll get the points for it. But upgrading, if you have the card and looking to upgrade, you can do that. You can apply for another one as well. There's no stipulation saying you can't have a Surpass and an Aspire card, so you can take a look at that. Stimulus videos equals views equals money. That is very true. It's Faker fan. That's the views equal money, but I'm like I said, not gonna knock the hustle of those people. Those guys are working hard turning out those daily videos. But let's see. I'm gonna do my part to make sure Chase sees that grocery category is useful. Max out, move it to the Ritz and Bonvoy card. Yeah, man. Hopefully they see there's some benefit there and they add it to card. Now, what would be interesting to me is if they add a grocery category to the reserve, but not the preferred, because then that makes that an intriguing competitor to the platinum card. If they did it to the preferred, it makes it a complimentary card, right? Kind of like the gold and platinum, if you will. But if they add that to the reserve itself, it makes it a more intriguing and I think competitive option to the platinum card as a whole. Just my thoughts. Let's see. The Ducks Unlimited, Jammin, they basically killed the card, if you want to call it that. It went from 5% back on sporting goods stores and gas to now it's just 1.5% everywhere. If you go look at the website, you'll see that. So it's no longer that good 5x option for gas. Let's see. For short term, 3 months, would you go reserve preferred or Hyatt first? I'll be on 524 in August and then in December. Would most likely use Hyatt sign-up bonus is tougher. If you're gonna have a harder time meeting the sign-up bonus for the Hyatt card, then I would probably go Sapphire preferred. There's no there. I have no information on this, but there's no telling if Chase changes the rules on their applications. It makes it harder for people in the future to get more cards. So I would go with this in the mindset of what's going to give you good value, as well as potential changes to the program. If you're playing by today's rules, it's one thing, but if the economy stays lower and Chase banks really tighten up, who knows? There's no telling what Chase could do. They could maybe change it from a 524 to 512, 518 rule. I have no idea. Just know there's potentially there's potential downstream effects from the economy being down. I have no idea on that, but just my thoughts. All financial YouTubers went down the road from 9,000 views per video to 10,000, 100,000. Yeah, man, 100,000 views, and it drives traffic. Like, I get why they did it, fakers. Views, subscribers. Like I said, some of these channels have 4, 5, 6, 7 times extra subscriber count, and it's it's impressive to see their growth. I'd be lying to you if I said I see it and I go, man, that's really cool, their growth. But Eventually, I think if I just keep putting out what I'm doing now, the channel will keep growing. Like I said, I'm only like 340 subs away from 10,000, which was my yearly goal. Like my goal this year was 10,000. So it's only May and I'm almost there. So I'm really excited for that. Any other credit union cards you recommend? I so far knew Senda, PenFed, Vantage West, ABOC, Affinity. As far as credit union cards, I have to take a deeper look in them. There was a program a couple years ago, and I haven't seen much on it recently. It offered CU rewards, and it was a credit union reward system. They actually had a decent program for flights, especially for domestic flights. And there was one card, the name's eluding me right now, that was like a really decent option for people, where it was like triple points on all purchases, which made it like for every $8,000 you spent, you had basically a free domestic ticket through their travel portal, because there was no price limit at the time. It was basically a domestic ticket was for 25,000 points, if I remember. So I'll take a look at that, but nothing I can think of right now. I mean, if you can get in with like USAA, they have a 5% cash back card for gas, and that's a really good option at $3,000 a year. So in Charlotte, should be a message in the morning. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you, Joe. That still in Charlotte, man. That's awesome. Yeah, should be a message in the morning. Let's see. Would you go 5x cash back or earning Hilton points knowing you're going to use either cash or points for Hilton stays? So right now, for a grocery spend, if you're going to be staying at Hilton anyways, I'm going to go Hilton points here, because at the current rate of return, it's like what, roughly 7.5%. So you're outdoing that. But that's what I would do. If you know you're going to be staying at Hilton anyways, I would go Hilton card for those 12x, that 12x category right now. City had such a good thing going for them, earning cards and HR protection. Lovely. Man, the price rewind was great. I missed that one too. That was a really great benefit, Shamrock, for Firm City. If they had a trip protections, the prestige would go back up the list without a doubt on people's list. I value thank you points at about 1.6, maybe 1.7 cents per point, because they have really good airline transfer partners. I do value Chase points the least out of those three. And I had a comment yesterday of how can I value Chase points at 1.5 cents per point, and if I value Hilton or Hyatt at 2 cents per point. And that really comes due to the fact that it's more of an average, right? Because you have like United, I value like 1.2, and Hyatt is the best hotel program in terms of point value, but not everyone is doing that. And I don't know if you can value points at their highest potential. So I do value Chase at 1.5 cents per point, because when you look at their programs, there's not much uniqueness. There's not a lot of uniqueness to their program, and they rely so heavily on Hyatt to offer value. It's just what it comes down to. Hyatt leaves tomorrow. How great would it be to see American Express swipe up Hyatt? Just throw that out there. Think about that for a second. What does Chase have if Hyatt leaves? Nothing. 5% back on gas. Man, that was such a good card. Let's see. Chase would not do exclusive multipliers on CSR with money loser and Chase. I think you're right, Fakers fan. I don't think Chase would offer extended multipliers on it. It would be interesting to see them do it, because it would give them more of an opportunity to compete with the Platinum card. If that happened, I would fully expect the annual fee to increase, though. It would be great to see them refresh the Sapphire Preferred with a 3x on groceries to compete with the City Premier. And even maybe add 3x for gas. I think that would be pretty unique, or it wouldn't be unique, but it would offer more value. They got to do something there. That relationship between the Premier, or the Preferred, and the Reserve is too combative. It's too close in what they offer. They need to offer something different so they're more complementary. Opinion on buying miles at Alaska at 60% bonus. Unless you have a redemption you're looking to make today and have the award space available, I would say not to buy miles. You never want to buy miles prospectively because of the risk of devaluation and the fact that there may be not be an award space that you're looking for. These bonuses come back. These purchase bonuses always come back. It always seems. Also compare it to the cash price of the ticket, because even with a 60% bonus, if there's a good fare, it may be cheaper. Also compare it to the travel portals of cards like the Reserve at 1.5x, if you will. All right. I just submitted one right now to see if the Google form is working. I'll check it very end. I'm really sorry about that. I will check after this live stream's over. I'll go for about maybe 5 to 10 more minutes if we still get questions. And then I'll bounce off just because it's an hour and 40 minutes already. I feel like 30 of it was me fixing my damn mic, or not fixing it, just off to the side. So I'll go for a little bit longer. We'll answer a couple more questions. But I will check that one for you, Barry, and thank you so much for resubmitting. Even if Chase gave 3x on Groceries instead of 5x, I'd be okay with it. Heck, if I'd give up the 50% bonus on their portal and DoorDash. Ooh, man, Shamrock, that's an interesting thing. If they gave up 50% on that of their portal bonus, that would really hurt them, even if they offered it. That's interesting. That's an interesting perspective or idea there, because it's good for coach flyers. Potentially for coach flyers. That's interesting. If they were to give that's a good trade-off. Better grocery multiplier, but lose that 50%. I feel like I would lean on the side of keeping the 50% instead of it, but some people may not. That's an interesting one. But I think that would be interesting. Don't forget to check that credit card email. I will check that. Thank you. Thanks, Joseph, on that one. I will definitely check it when it's here. Edgar, hello from Miami. Edgar, how you doing, man? Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Thanks for giving the great content and points miles. Man, I appreciate the kind words, man. I enjoy this stuff so much. I'm always looking for more stuff to produce, either now podcast form or points and miles related stuff, or just credit card stuff. I'll tell you, it's been slower on the credit card front just because there's so much lack of stuff going on. But it was like Christmas Day the other day when American Express rolled out these credits, because I think it was I don't think we've, even like in the blog world and YouTube world, we haven't had much, I think, new stuff to talk about, if you will. But when American Express dropped these increase and Chase did these, it was like Christmas Day. I'm like, thankfully something new to talk about, as opposed to something that's not as important maybe for people. What essential spending categories do you think banks are ignoring that could focus more on? Ketchy, I did a survey for SoFi, because it looks like SoFi is potentially releasing a credit card. And one was medical bills that they were looking to offer it on. And that was interesting to me, because I do see in the different Facebook groups out there where people ask about the best card for medical payments, including, paying their medical bills. I think that's an interesting one. Another one would be, and I've seen this float around a few times, are pet supplies. People love their pets and they go to great lengths for them. So that could be one that's outside of the box. But I think there's typically a category for somewhere in some card right now. But medical payments seem to be a big one based on what I've seen people talk about. If Hyatt went to American Express, that'd be crazy. Subscriber means nothing if folks aren't watching. As soon as Timmy talks away, love an audience who cares about nothing about credit cards and travel. Back to your normal view account. I'm interested. I remember watching stuff when I was starting the YouTube channel that, and I don't know if it's changed in YouTube's world, Shamrock, about quality subscriber, I think it was called, that before YouTube will really push information out to other people who are non-subscribers, your subscriber base needs to be viewing your information or your video to a certain rate before they start pushing it outward. So I'm interested to see how that relates to people, but it'll be interesting to see, because if that hurts overall, I'm interested. But even if a few thousand people, people benefit them, that's great. I'll be interested to see, though. I think it's going to be a very interesting time after this all settles back to normal. If Hyatt leaves American for thinking game over, I agree. It'd totally be a game over. What's the best option for short domestic flights? British Airways or Avios or AA? So, Ben, I did a video on that a little while ago. But for nonstop short haul American airline flights, British Airways could potentially be your best option because AA is now dynamic, so it could be better. So definitely check AA's website for those web specials. But historically, British Airways has been really good. For maybe those ultra short haul flights or maybe ones with a stop, look at Iberia because they are good because British Airways prices out by segment and distance and they add them together. Iberia just does the total distance. Doesn't matter if there's a stop or a layover or a stopover. So check all those programs. It's just unfortunately now going to depend because AA is dynamic. And that's what makes sometimes it so difficult is that standard award trips like British Airways are really good until you go look for a web special and it's like 5,000 miles on American to where it blows up that whole idea. Wish you could get the Zinc card. They pulled that one a while back, I think, yeah. Lionel, thanks for stopping by. I've been wanting to get back on the streams and do these for a while. But like I said, man, I was just I getting the stuff in the podcast set up and whatnot has just taken a lot of upkeep and whatnot. So I've had to pull from somewhere. So happy to be back on the live stream though. That card that you pick, your benefits and annual fee went up. Depends on the benefit. I'm not sure where that relates to, Charles. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, YouTube so just moved us up again. What airline do you think Chase could add to make them more competitive? As we know AA would join. I would think AA would be more likely to join Citi since they have that partnership with them. I think Alaska would be an interesting one for them. They still offer some value. I know they're joining One World, and I do expect their award chart to completely change. You do have ones like Japan Airlines. Aegean would have been good, but I know they changed their program or they made some devaluations. Even just adding some life miles would be another good option for people. I think Alaska would be a very interesting one. If they could swing AA, that would be a big one as well. Do you think any bank would come out with a card like this? That they pick their benefits and the annual fee based on those benefits? I did a video on that, Charles, a little while ago. Then I don't think any bank would do that. I think that though would be an absolute game changer if a bank allowed you to pick earning categories and benefits and your annual fee was based on the benefits and the earning rates you selected. I think that would be a very interesting a very interesting one, and to give that personalized approach. I really think that is what would be very useful for people. I'm not sure how banks would put it together. It's not my job to figure that out. I just throw out the ideas, hoping something sticks, right? But just thinking about that, I do feel like there are some people who would be willing to pay a little bit more to only use one card as opposed to 6 or 7 for that convenience of one and get the earning rates they want as a whole. James says, good to see live stream. Chase setting up on their business platform 4 days ago. James, thanks for stopping by the live feed, man. I do appreciate it. They are tightening up on those business applications as across the board. I'm happy to see you got approved for it, but Chase has definitely tightened up on those starting a couple weeks ago. How does having the reserve for complimentary each matter if you're only allowed to have one at a time? They would have to change that language, D-Blue, in order for that to happen. And I think if they were to make it complimentary, they would have to. But that would obviously need to change. Let's see. I'm not a YouTuber. Doesn't view count more than subscribers. Thought subscriber meant nothing if folks aren't watching. So Shamrock, I think the way it looks is that they're looking at views and view duration and watch time. So if people aren't watching, that doesn't help. If people aren't watching your videos for longer, that doesn't help. So there's quite a few different metrics they look at, but getting views on your videos and having people watching your views for longer times and binging it. So you want people to watch your videos, but then go to another video of yours. So that's why you'll see people with the cards up in the corner or at the end screen. Because if you binge 2, 3, or 4 videos of those people, YouTube then promotes it to you more. And when they're like, hey, that video is doing really well, we should push that out to more people. But if your own subscriber base, I think I remember this correctly, if your own subscriber base isn't viewing it, then YouTube's like, what do we want to promote this out when this person's base isn't even watching that video? So, or not watching it as long. So it is a few pieces there. Let's see. Only reason I give it up, the 50%, is compared to cities. In my experience, cities portal better than those, and then 25% less than reserved. I think I don't disagree. There's definitely some inflation on all of the portals at times. But it's hit or miss, I would say, but definitely, I've seen the one thing I will say Chase's portal has going for it, in my experience looking and doing some research for stuff in my own looking, they do tend to have a better inventory since they've partnered with Expedia, although it's not the same as what Expedia offers on their own site. Chase says, hi from Phoenix. What's going on, Chase? Hi from Phoenix, ma'am. Thanks for tuning in. Had to call Chase today to get a card reconsideration, first time ever. They pushed back so hard. Had to cut my other credit card limits in half to get approved for the Prime card. So Chase, I would say that's potentially not uncommon. Couple things I've been told and I've seen with Chase. One, they're only going to allow you so much credit. So if you've tapped out your credit with Chase, you're going to have to call anyways and shift credit around. You're allowed to do that. And two, what I've been told too is you don't want your Chase total credit limit to be above 50% of your annual income. So if you make we'll say $60,000 a year, just for easy numbers, you don't want your total available credit or total credit line with Chase to be above $30,000 to make that phone call. So if you can make it lower, that could help you in the future. Subs I was using, knocking in one. Can't wait for the mysterious American Express release later this year. It'll be interesting. That card, Faker fan, if it's what is being proposed, I just don't. It's not going to be good for most people based on what I've seen on the leaks of those ultra premium light cards. It's going to get a lot of publicity. People are going to sign up for it because it's new. I don't know if it's going to benefit people as many people as what they're going to get. They're going to get it because it's like, look at me, I'm the cool kid on the block. But it's all about value. Aaron didn't get the logo. Thank you for showing, Aaron. That's perfectly fine. I appreciate you showing up, even if YouTube Slack, and I agree. Get hungry. Let's see. Is there a way to check if you're pre-approved for Barkley? They pulled that a couple years ago, I believe. They pulled it back, and then I think they pulled it again for pre-approved. It would be, they actually used to be a pre-qualified, not pre-approved. So not exactly the same thing, but I don't believe Barkley does that anymore. Do you think any bank would come out with a car that would let you pick the benefits? I don't, Charles. I just don't see it happening right now. I wish it would, but that'd be great, but no. I haven't seen any good non-category international cards beside the Altitude Reserve, Samsung Pay, MST, Capital One Venture. Have you seen any travel? Typically for me, when I travel, it's more dining expenses and travel expenses. So I've been getting a lot of good options there. I do have the USAA Limitless card personally, so I get 2.5% cash back on those, and it's chip and pin. But no, I don't think that the Altitude Reserve with the tap and pay is the best for mobile wallet payments and international travel. It's so good for the non-bonus spend. All right. Damn, this is still going. Hey, man. Hey, I'm here answering questions, Thirsty Lion. It's a good time for me. I'm gonna call it here in just a couple minutes, but I appreciate you sticking around. What'd you drink with that 12-pack? Hopefully something good. Let's see. I've been slowly trying to watch a review put out, also commenting on those. Thank you for the comments on that. I do appreciate that too, Joseph. Um, let's see. What points would you recommend for live entertainment? For entertainment, catchy, you have the Saver card and the Premier, at least for the short term, for people who have it. So, I would probably say, the Capital One Saver card or even the Saver One at 3% or, 3% or 4% is where I'd go there. Let's see. Before checking out, I want to leave you with my credit card wish. I would love to see it. American Express do a monthly rotating category of the highest like business gold. That would be great, Shamrock. If a bank did that for consistent use for people, then I think people could get behind that. And that might be the closest we get to a more personalized credit card. I think that would be great to see. Danny boy, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. I got my workout in earlier today. It was a leg day, before I started the live stream. So can't skip leg day. Um, let's see. Is it metal? The altitude reserve is metal, but you use it mostly for mobile wallet payments, so nobody sees that anyways. Yeah, so nobody cares about that. Alvin, thanks for stopping by, man. Late to the party, but hey, you're here to the party. That's great. Oh no, didn't get any notification about it. Oh man, thank you so much, Timmy, for stopping by. I do appreciate it. You enjoy the value and conscious approach to it. Keep the good work. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. Vodka Panka number 2. Don, for Barkley, you have the AA Barkley card for 60,000. That's a pretty good one. Uber card was good till they killed that card. Let's see. She says, thanks. I think you're going to be a powerhouse in the YouTube card scene. Relatable, knowledgeable, and sweet to every single viewer. Keep it up. Man, Chase, I appreciate the kind words. Without the people watching the channel, the channel's not what it is. And, I always try to keep a positive attitude with people. I even, I've been getting in with like the trolls as well. I troll them back, but, I always try to make sure the videos are well researched. If you saw my outtakes of how many times I should reshoot certain scenes, make sure I get it right. I do that. So, but yeah, you know what? There's no, positivity spreads, man. And I appreciate the kind words. Dolly, how you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope all is well with you. And it's been a while. Wow. Thank you again, Shamrock, for another super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I appreciate it on my live stream. It's been almost 2 hours. It's been great. So hope everyone's enjoyed hope everyone has enjoyed the what did I even call this? The happy hour, the social distancing happy hour. Let's see. Lewis, thank you much for stopping by. I appreciate you subscribing and tuning into the channel. So thank you so much, Lewis. Valorant says, thanks for not going into Simmons been answering my question. Of course, I'm always here to answer questions. I try to get in the comments as much as I can, and help people out. So it's always my number one goal. That's why I got into this. Financial UA, hey brother, thanks for love for the videos and personality. Enjoy your videos. Smart, great time, great research, fun. Thanks for that. I think I appreciate the kind words, Financial UA. I do appreciate that. I've tried to loosen up on camera a little bit more, and have some more fun with it. I feel like I used to be really rigid, but now I feel like I'm in a good place right now. Again, Shamrock, thank you very much. I appreciate you for the super chat, man. Lewis, pretty into the points game. Oh man, you have so much you're at a good spot right now, Lewis. If you're new to the points game, I know banks might tighten up for a little bit of time, but dig in, learn how to use those points. It'll be super beneficial for you come after all this, because while it's a good time to earn points right now, it's even better to learn how to use them efficiently. I see too many times, I'm on my soapbox real fast. I see too many times where people have these points and they just earn all these points and they have no clue what to do with them. So take some time, learn how to use them. You'll be far happier. Just take 1 or 2 programs and just start digging into them. Don't bite off too much. There's a lot into them, but once you do that, you'll be really good. And I appreciate you. Let's see, any difference in air traffic pattern post COVID? There could be. I would be lying if I said I don't think we're going to see any changes after all this is over, Don. Absolutely. What that'll be, we'll have to just wait and see. What should I learn a lot from your channel? Thank you, Louis. I appreciate that. I always try to provide value for people. What should I do to secure my capital? With my secure one? Shout out for yours, and they won't unsecure me. If it's free, if there's no fee to it, leave it there. As long as if you can get another card, move on from it. Or see what they're looking for, Danny Boy, to why they won't unsecure you. But if you're able to get another card that is unsecured at this point, like maybe like Discover, you could look at Discover as well. Even if Discover does make you go secured, Discover does typically move you to unsecured. I think it's within 6 months if you haven't missed a payment. So I'd look to do that. And Discover is great. They're a great bank. At Bangor, man, I haven't seen. I heard a plane fly over me the other day, and I think it was the first plane I heard flying over me, Don, in like a while. So I was really excited to see it. I think it was a military plane though, but either way, I was excited to see it. Got to do these more often. So I'll look at. I hope to do these again. Another live stream in maybe a couple weeks. I'm gonna try to. So you had an email response less than 2 months ago. Device. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Yankee, for that. I do try to get to these my consults. I have to check the form. I feel bad if there's people submitting them and I'm not responding. I don't like to ignore people. That would kind of be counterintuitive to what I'm trying to do. But I appreciate the kind words. I've been responding back with videos for people, so they have that in a video form as opposed to typed out. It just works better. I think it's better for both people. Let's see, it's been a rough few months, but things are getting better. Thanks for the info. Yeah, we're staying safe. We're not going out too often, mostly just for food, for groceries or whatnot, and like picking up stuff. So let's see. Green card or Chase Sapphire preferred? Which is better? I'm gonna go green card. I think I'm gonna go green card on that one, Charles. It's just outside of international acceptance with the Sapphire Preferred has, everywhere else, I'm definitely going with the green card. Any other social platforms? Other social platforms I'm on? I am Catchy. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I have a Facebook group. All of those are at Waller's Wallet. The podcast as well. I'm on all major platforms except for Pandora because they're taking super long to approve it. I don't know why, but they are. But yeah, I'm on all major platforms. I'm probably the most active on Twitter. I post more Instagram stories. Once I get to 10,000 on YouTube, I will be doing more YouTube stories to interact with people. So I'm only a couple hundred away. So once that happens, you'll see some YouTube stories with some Q&A maybe from there where I can do quick clips back to people. So what's the last show I binged? I don't watch a lot of TV because I'm always working on stuff. The last show I binged, Tiger King. It was Tiger King. I binged that one with my wife and we watched that. But outside of TV, people ask me that all the time. I don't watch a lot of TV because when my son goes to bed, I'm down in the office from anywhere from 2 hours to 6 or 7 hours working on editing, writing stuff, thinking of new topics, researching. This is just what I do now. So Tiger King though. Did Carol Baskins kill her husband? Next time I should start a video with hey all you cat and kittens out there, right? Would that work? What do you recommend is the best way to book new suites in Singapore Air? If you're looking to book the first class suites, I would look to use their points. You're gonna need to use Singapore Airlines miles to make that happen. That's what you would need to do. As far as looking for award availability, you can search right on Singapore Air, or you could even look to use United, but Singapore Air should be just fine. They're pretty user-friendly as far as searching. Let's see, PSA, don't get Southwest points in hopes of going to Asia. Oh man, I feel bad for that. I agree. I think it's one thing, Shamrock, about people. They see a blogger or YouTuber promote a card and like, I got the Southwest Companion Pass, which is a great tool if you're traveling domestically or the few international trips. Southwest Companion Pass is going to do nothing for you if you want to go to Europe, Asia, Australia, South America. So that's why it's so important to know where your points can be used. Oh man, Danny boy, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Wow, you all are so super generous. I really do appreciate it. Get hungry, stay hungry. Thank you for the super chat as well. And you all are just so generous. Captain America shield. I should have worn my Captain America shirt tonight, but maybe I'll get a shield for that for one of these lives. Why hasn't US Bank done anything at this time? They may be waiting. Not to say they won't do anything in the future. Is the altitude reserve still a good card? I think it is still a really good card. Is it perfect? Nope. But it has a lot to benefit and a lot to offer. 3x on mobile wallet payments right now is really solid. So I think it is still a really good card with good travel protections and easy for people to use. Wow, Dolly, thank you for the super chat as well. That is super. Wow, you all are just super generous. I really appreciate that. That is super. Wow. Wow, all of you are super generous. Thank you so much. Does Chase Ink count towards 524? It does not. So Lewis, what it does though, so applying for a Chase card or Chase Ink card will not count towards your 524 status, but they use 524 to determine if you're eligible for it. So what I mean by that is if you apply for a Chase card right now and you're 424, you'll stay 424 and potentially be approved for that. If you were 624, you'll be denied because you're over 524. So it doesn't add to your 524 status, but it's subjected to 524. I do see some misinformation out there as well. Are there any public sign-up bonuses catching at historic high? I think the only one that's I think still at a historic high is the IHG card. Not a fan of the moving maybe to dynamic pricing, but that's the only one I can think of right now off the top of my head that's like historic high. But I think we're going to see banks pull back on these historic highs for a while. All right, this will be my last question. I'm going to head out because we've been here for 2 hours. So thank you all for stopping by. Last question though. Thank you, Shamrock, for stopping by, man. It was really awesome. And I'll try to make sure I get these up. I'll try to do more of these in the future. The last question from Lee says, when we see the two new cards from US Bank, projected to be June 1st right now. It could be, I think it could potentially be pushed back if by chance the economy isn't as great. So we'll have to wait and see. Right now, thinking June 1st is when it should be launched. So we'll keep an eye out for that. When it is launched, don't worry. I'll be sure to have reviews on the cards. And I have a couple comparisons I'm looking to do in the future with those. Because if the projections are right, the website's kind of been leaked on part of it. If it's correct, it's going to offer some really good value for people, and I think could be a really good option. So that's my thoughts on that right there. But everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, staying here for the whole chat. I've seen a lot of you here from the beginning, so I appreciate that. If you think this could be helpful, thanks for stopping by. If you like this type of stuff and you want to, if you think someone could benefit from it, share this video with them. I'm not sure they're going to watch all 2 hours of it, but I'll try to do these live streams in the future as well. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel. I do put out videos multiple times a week. I try to do live streams. I try to give you guys more breaking credit card news information. Remember, I do have the podcast, so check that out if you want as well. I do release videos right now every other week. I'll probably stay in that right now for a while. Every other week on the podcast, available all major platforms. And also, I'll plug it one more time, the YouTube channel memberships, which right now would be more of a members-only stream as well. So you'd get an extra stream per month. And then I look to hopefully add more things to that in the future. So thank you all once again for stopping by and being here for the entire 2+ hours we've been streaming. I appreciate it. Until the next time, everyone, safe travels and take care.